Well, good rising. Looking hippy dippy. But I don't got time to care about that shit. On that money hustle grind. We all need things to do. Just try to aspire to pick your actions of enslavement instead of them being bestowed upon you. Son, this is the last day of Aries season. We've reached 29 degrees Aries. The moon is already at 7 degrees Sagittarius, so a beautiful abundance of fire today. And I believe the sun will be right at set. We'll shortly thereafter jump on into Taurus. I seen a call for heavy winds in our region, northeastern Arizona. And I'm sure that correlates definitely with the sun leaving signs. I think we do now have Mercury past Uranus. Gout been wrecking my ass. I should say wrecking my ankle. A little bit of the knee, a little bit of kidney. When motivated, it ain't hard for me to take action. Got now 48 hours of non-drinking when I had a consistency of a good 5 to 6 straight days of having some tequila in the evenings. Did make it 24 hours until 6, but I had 2.5 yesterday evening. Guess I don't really want to talk about it, but since I opened Pandora's box about it, what would, I know a few people that actually, I know of one person that's actually married to their biological uncle, Mormon fam. I guess they were told they weren't allowed to have kids. I don't know what, I know they didn't have kids. But that just breaks down, I mean, the soul is a soul. I mean, obviously we see it in the animal kingdom where incest is no thing. It's gonna happen for the most part. And there's strange shit with, the royalty that has stood over rulership of this world, especially European royalty, where you were made to partner up with your cousin to keep the blood more pure. That being said, for my situation, the opposites attract, so that speaks to the opposition in the chart. Trying to think, I don't know exactly, I haven't dove into her chart or took a peek. Our relationship has been distant most of our life. My Aries cousin that I first experienced, well, it wasn't necessarily sex, but I was inside of her. For me, I just remember, holy shit. My little dick was so hard it felt like it wanted to rip through its fucking skin. But that Aries opposition is what I was getting at. Early Aries energy lands in my 8th house, which can be the house of sexual desire. Early Scorpio energy, which my male cousin, but again, there was nothing that transpired between me and him besides him being the voyeur, at least the details I remember, the voyeur in the sack next to us. Yeah, feel free to tune out. But perhaps this is part of my releasing to heal some of it. And not that I haven't, this doesn't consume my world, but this did start with the moon conjunct South Node, releasing sexual traumas, Scorpio. But yes, it did. I don't imagine it affected their world as much as it affected my world. One, I had nobody to talk to about this thing, you know what I mean? Now, I believe my grandma became aware because I was in such physical pain in my penis. But it wasn't like it was that be the end and I was left to deal with the situation myself for years to come. And thus, okay, went on to experiment with a friend and other cousin. But I felt like this first incident was more like a peer pressure. It wasn't something I was trying to bring about in them or in her, but rather it was pushed upon me before my time, or introduced upon me before my time. And we have a 13-year-old Aries girl, but yeah, she's fucking probably horny as fuck. And selfish, not giving a fuck about how the actions affect others. But me being the mental mind that I am, it was... and so to dive deeper into my chart, so if you're aware of Black Moon Lilith, that's kind of the freaky stripper bitch energy in you that's going to do whatever it takes to get what she wants. Probably where we see a female getting pregnant on purpose to entrap someone into child support is probably a Black Moon Lilith fucking effect. So my Black Moon Lilith is 10 degrees Capricorn. Well, that sextiles over to my Jupiter in Scorpio. You can look at Jupiter in Scorpio as an abundance of sexual desire. And then you have that Black Moon Lilith saying, egging on those sexual desires. But then that my Jupiter squares my Mercury in Aquarius 7 degrees. So that could actually bring out sexual perversion. My Mars is in the 3rd house, which could speak to sex with cousins. Your 3rd house is your siblings, and or I believe the cousins, whereas like your 4th house is your mom, the 5th house is your dad, as far as trying to understand the houses. All right. Welcome to the humble beginnings of Twisted Sage. Start that out, motherfuckers.